Welcome to a deep dive, into something kind of amazing,
Oh, yeah.
how our brains react to movies.
Right.
We've got this new study from the journal Neuron,
Okay.
and it's basically like they created a map of our brains while we're watching a film.
Wow. Yeah, what's so interesting here is it goes way beyond those basic,
Yeah.
this part of the brain does this explanations. We're talking about entire networks lighting up in sync with what's happening on screen.
Okay, so let's unpack that this study mentions 24 different networks.
Mm-hmm.
24.
Yeah,
That just seems like a lot. Is my brain really that busy when I'm just trying to relax and watch a movie?
it really is. But think of it this way. You're not just passively watching.
Okay.
You're processing a ton of information. There's dialogue to follow faces, to recognize maybe some crazy action happening.
Right.
Each of those things taps into a specialized network in your brain.
So it's like my brain has different teams for different movie moments.
Exactly. And the study used such a variety of films, from
Mhm.
mind-bending stuff like Inception to the pure fun of Home Alone, that they were able to see just how specialized these networks are.
Okay, so give me an example. Let's say I'm watching Kevin set those hilarious traps in Home Alone. What's going on in my brain then?
Well, you're seeing those wacky contraptions, anticipating what's going to happen, then getting that payoff when the bad guys get what's coming to them.
Uh-huh.
All of that taps into your brain's reward system,
Okay.
which is linked to feeling pleasure and satisfaction.
So basically my brain is giving me a dopamine high five.
Yeah.
Every time Kevin outwits those burglars, I knew there was a reason to love that movie.
It's not just about comedy, though. Imagine you're watching a tense scene in The Social Network.
Okay.
Now your brain is engaging networks related to understanding complex social dynamics and strategic thinking.
So different movies, different brain parties.
That's right.
But here's something that always gets me. Some movies are just so much easier to follow than others.
Yeah,
Is there something to that?
there absolutely is. The study found that simpler scenes allow those specialized areas to really shine. But when a movie gets super complex,
Yeah.
like Inception with its layers of dreams within dreams,
Oh, yeah.
your brain has to kick it up a notch.
That's where the executive function comes in.
Right.
The study mentioned that.
Right. Think of it like your brain has a conductor who manages the whole orchestra of different networks. When a scene is straightforward, the conductor can let each section do its thing.
But when things get complicated,
That conductor has to step in and make sure everything's working together smoothly.
right.
That takes more effort, which is why you might feel mentally strained trying to follow a movie like Inception.
So that feeling of my brain is working overtime,
Yeah,
that's literally what's happening.
exactly. Your executive function is putting in the extra effort to make sense of all the information coming at you.
Now that's something to think about next time I'm watching a movie.
It really highlights the incredible adaptability of the brain. It's not just a static organ.
Right.
It's constantly responding and reorganizing based on what we're experiencing.
This is already blowing my mind and we're just getting started. You mentioned that the study used average brain data.
Yes.
What would happen if we could map individual brains?
Now that's where things get really fascinating. Imagine having a personalized brain map that shows exactly how your brain responds to different types of movies.
Okay, stop right there because that is seriously cool. We need to dive into that more. But first, a quick recap for our listeners.
We were talking about the possibilities of personalized brain maps, which is something that could totally revolutionize how we think about movies. It wouldn't just be entertainment anymore.
You're saying it could be like personalized brain training.
It's not that far off. Think about it if we know exactly which networks light up in your brain when you're engaged.
Uh-huh.
We can create content that's tailored to your specific needs.
Hold on. Are you telling me that someday Netflix might be like, based on your unique brain map, you'll absolutely love this thriller?
Haha, it might not be Netflix giving you movie suggestions. It could be your doctor or therapist using these personalized maps to help you learn more effectively or even to address cognitive challenges.
Okay.
Imagine if we could target specific areas of the brain through movies.
That sounds like science fiction, but honestly, at this point, I'm ready to believe anything.
Mhm.
So where could this actually be applied in the real world?
The applications are mind-blowing. Imagine using brain imaging to understand how students with learning disabilities process information.
Okay.
We could create educational content that specifically engages the networks they need to strengthen it. Could revolutionize how we approach education.
Wow. So we're talking about making learning as captivating as a blockbuster movie Forget textbooks. Pass me the popcorn.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just education. Think about people with Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
If we could pinpoint which networks are affected, we might be able to tailor movie experiences that stimulate those areas and potentially slow down cognitive decline.
This is incredible. We're talking about movies not just as entertainment, but as a tool for improving our lives.
It really underscores the power of understanding how our brains work, and we've only scratched the surface.
Right.
Think about all the other things we do that engage multiple senses and cognitive functions, video games, of virtual reality. The possibilities are endless.
This is all so exciting. It really makes you think about movies in a whole new light.
Yeah.
It's not just about escaping into another world for a couple of hours. It's about engaging your brain in a complex and fascinating way.
And becoming more aware of that process can be incredibly empowering. You can start paying attention to your own mental effort while watching movies. Which scenes grab your attention?
Right.
Which ones make you think harder? Which
Yeah.
ones evoke strong emotions?
So I should be asking myself, what's going on in my brain right now every time I watch a movie?
You don't have to overthink it, but being a little more mindful of your own cognitive processes can be really insightful. You might start to notice which scenes engage different parts of your brain.
Okay, I am totally going to do that. This entire conversation has been a mind-blowing deep dive into the world of neuroscience and cinema. It's amazing to think about the potential. Here, we started this deep dive talking about how our brains react to movies, and now we're talking about using movies to actually improve our brains.
It really speaks to the incredible power of storytelling and how deeply it affects us on a neurological level.
Yeah, and for anyone listening who's now looking at their movie queue thinking, what's this film doing to my brain? What would you tell them?
I'd say enjoy the experience. Movies are a fantastic form of entertainment, but they're also a window into how your mind works. Pay attention to those moments when you feel your brain really working. Those are the moments when you're engaging multiple networks and making those connections.
It's like turning movie night into a brain-boosting workout.
Exactly. And the more we learn about this connection between our brains and the films we watch, the more we'll be able to unlock the true potential of this amazing medium.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we've all learned something new today. Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of neuroscience and cinema.
It's been my pleasure, and remember, the next time you settle in for a movie, take a moment to appreciate the amazing symphony of activity happening inside your brain.
Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and happy, watching everyone again.